Man, life is so beautiful, isn't it? I pulled up to one of my favorite parks. This park I found randomly nestled in the middle of a neighborhood. And with the sunset and with everything that's been going on with my life lately and how busy it's been, it's making me reflect. And for that, I wanted to share a 1.5 year review of me living van life. Oh my gosh, what was that? You might be asking, how did you see a grown man on your cabinet? It was a roach. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mike. I live and travel out of my beautiful self-converted camper van, and I've been doing so for just about a 1.5 years now. And I've learned a lot, been through a lot, and I have a bunch of takeaways to share with you guys. And that's something I plan to share with you today. So I figured, what better way to do so than to bring you guys out, and instead of walking, because it's gonna take me too damn long to walk and talk to get to where I want to get to, just take a little cruise on over there and tell you guys just how the journey has been for me. And if you can't hear me, I'm sorry, I'm starting to speed a little bit. My fault, man. Damn, that is nice. Yeah, man, it's just so peaceful out here. Decided to pull over and just walk and talk for a second. So, van life in itself is an adventure, as you can understand it to be. And overwhelmingly, my experience has been very, very positive. I've met so many great people on the road. I've made so many great connections. I've made so many memories. And overwhelmingly, I've had a positive experience. One of the biggest takeaways that I've had with doing van life, with living and traveling out of my van, is the difference in mindset. Like, when I was living in an apartment, of course you have a lot more comfort. So you're used to things being on demand, you're used to things being unlimited. Like, it's a very, in my mind as of right now, first world type of living. Now, of course, if you're living in a third world country, this doesn't necessarily apply to you because you're still in a third world country, no matter if you're in an apartment or not. But for myself, it was a very first world type of feeling, and feeling like, you know, like you're essentially rich, regardless of if your apartment doesn't have all the amenities as another one, whatever. Like, it's pretty rich living. And so once I got into my van and living and traveling from my van, and even in my van, I have a lot of luxuries. I was like, man, it makes me appreciate so much more having unlimited water, having unlimited power, not having to worry about where I'm going to park and sleep for the night because I know exactly where I'm going to sleep for the night. So it added a different level of gratitude to my life. And I would consider myself a person that's pretty grateful. But after living and traveling out of my camper van that I converted myself, so that's a whole nother thing, you know, things breaking and stuff, like, I found a different level of gratitude. We got this nice trail, so I don't only want to be biking, I feel like bringing you guys with me for a little walk. And I'm this close to buying a jet ski. If this video gets 3,000 likes, I'm buying a jet ski. Don't get this video to 3,000 likes. I don't need a jet ski. You guys seen what I've done with everything else that I've had. But, like, man, just looking at where I'm at, literally, like, where I'm at, this would not have been possible had I not started living and traveling out of my van. My life, I don't know what it would have looked like. Like, I literally took a 180 turn from the direction in which I was going, possibly a 90-degree turn. And from the direction that I was going in, like, I can only imagine what my life would have been like had I not taken that step out and that leap of faith and started traveling and living from my van. But yeah, man, it's been a long journey, and one that has come with tons of ups and downs, tons of learning lessons, and tons of fun. So you're here for a reason. You clicked on the video for a reason. And it's not just to hear me reminisce. What can you gain from this? So, for anyone who's interested in doing van life, anyone who's interested in really becoming a nomad, and in a sense, you're not giving it up, but you're stepping away from comfort. Hold on, bear with me now. Bear with me now. There's a few tidbits and tricks that I want to just throw out there, some things that I learned and what my takeaways were. So, in terms of, like I said, the comfort aspect, don't mind them boys in the back. We're not necessarily in the south, but it's hot and humid over here. So they're gonna scream. Those might be cicadas, those might be crickets the size of your forehead, but don't mind them boys. If I find him, I'm gonna grab him by his hips. In terms of comfort, right? So as I was mentioning earlier, how limited power becomes a thing, limited water becomes a thing. If you don't have a necessarily set up internet system, if you have like a Wi-Fi, your own built-in router, just things like these. If all of those aren't set up or established, that becomes a thing now. You know, going to cafes to work if you're a remote worker. All of these things that you previously didn't need to think about become a thing. And so people's creature comforts kind of go away. And so it's not to say that you're now uncomfortable all the time. You just have to adjust, pivot, and think about things differently. And that has been one of the bigger things that has been happening or prevalent in my life now that I'm living and traveling out of my van. Huh?
How's it going?
What's poppin'? How many dogs is this? 3?
3. Got the AT&T bars.
Y'all having a good old time out. Yeah. Were they in the water?
What?
Were they in the water?
Oh, they just jumped in the creek. That's why they like it.
Yeah.
Good one.
You have a good one. You run into great people all the time, just like that. Like, folks just walking their dogs, living life. And overwhelmingly, as I was saying earlier, like I've made a lot of great connections. Like people overall that I have ran into, just been positive, man. Like there's of course been some negative Nancy's, even some of you guys in the comments. If I see you in person, step up and say it to my face. But overall, have been just like so cool and so accommodating. Let me set y'all down so y'all get the full scope, you know what I'm saying? So we get to do a little bit more talking. So in terms of really just the people that you run into, yeah, man. Like, in terms of nomads, there's usually, I haven't ran into a nomad who's been a jerk. Because you're struggling, I'm struggling, we're in it, we're traveling. When you see more of the world, when you see more of life, if you're not more grateful after that, or if you don't have a larger heart after that, seek help. Because I literally was humbled by getting into a van, traveling the US, and then getting on a plane and traveling the world, seeing the different styles of living, seeing the different styles of people's living, and just like the just gaps in education. And so for me, like stepping out, getting into this van, or stepping out, hopping on a plane. Last year, you guys saw me in Europe, you guys saw me in Morocco, which is Africa. I hit a little tip of Africa, so I can say I went to Africa. But like stepping out and going to these places, like I really wanted to bring you guys with me because for one, some people may never experience that, but two, I wanted to show you guys the same way that I'm seeing it is the same way that you can see it. Like there is so much life out there. Van life has given me a greater appreciation on life itself. I've said it so many times, like I'm appreciative of you guys because you guys are really changing my life. The life that I live today, I could not have even pictured it or imagined it a year ago. Honestly, I couldn't have even pictured it or imagined it a month ago. You guys are constantly changing my life. I love all the comments. I appreciate every single one of you. And even to the negative comments, you know, you took a second out of your day thinking about me to say something, whether it be negative, like I said, negative comments, or positive. You're helping my engagement. So if you keep hating, you're going to keep pushing these bills. But yes, overall, I've been having a great time, and I'm so thankful of it. Damn, the sun goes down fast. Strong man running for him. Where did he come from? But yeah, I'm so thankful for this journey. And so what else did I learn besides you may step away from comforts, that to really just learn how to go with the flow sometimes. Like wanting to have everything planned out, wanting to have everything straight to a T is great, maybe in a corporate setting. But when you're literally letting your life be on the wild side, like becoming a nomad, you need to learn how to adapt and pivot. And so when your life is that, it looks like that, man, trying to plan everything out, it is such a headache. Like, can you imagine you want to go check out this natural park or this state park, and you've just put all of these plans into it. You're going to do this on this day, you're going to eat this food, you're going to do this, you're going to hike this, you're going to climb this, and then a rainstorm comes in. A rainstorm that was not on the forecast. What do you do? That's the kind of stuff that I was living and dealing with and am living and dealing with. And so it's taught me how to be even more adaptive, right? So adaptability, that's another big thing that I feel like with the life that I was living, I didn't really have too much of that. I felt like everything needed to be set in stone, black and white. And that's not even how life is. Life isn't even set in stone, black and white. Damn, dropping bars on him. Talk to him, Mike, talk to him. In terms of the damn, the panorama whamma jamma. Hold on. I gotta open these hips up, cause I might go on a run tomorrow. Yup. All right, let me stop playing. I don't wanna waste your time. But yes, adaptability. Being able to adapt to your surroundings, being able to adapt to the constant changes. It's adaptability, it's a big thing. And if that's something that you can take and run with and be like, yeah, I can roll with the punches, you're gonna go so much further than you wouldn't. Honestly, and that's from my point of view, because that's what changed my life. Again, stepping out of corporate America, trying to do things a certain way, always at a certain time, by a certain division and certain percentage, trying to make sure that I'm hitting this deadline. It took away the freedom and fun out of life. And so I gained that back. Like, I'm sure anyone who's been watching the channel from the beginning to now, I've been the same me, but I'm enjoying life a whole lot more now. Like, there's a lot more freedom in my life. There's a lot more fun in my life. And literally from sharing my life with you guys and doing more stuff, it's amplified that to another level. So yeah, honestly, I would say in terms of van life, another thing that I have learned really is just overall knowing yourself and self-reflection can go for a long way. A lot of these might seem like they're interconnected and webbed together, but because they are, if you know yourself and you know that you are, I can't say like the personalities type A, type B, but like if you know that you're in a sense controlling of certain things, or if you know you need to be in control of this, need to be in control of that, it might either be stripped off of you or it might be molded. So like in a sense of stripped off of you, like if you just keep running into conditions that you cannot be in control of and you keep having to pivot, you might slowly drop that guard. Or molded in the sense of you beforehand did not care about any of these things, and now you're just keep driving into storms, driving into this, driving into that. You park, someone's knocking on your door. It might mold you into becoming a little bit more responsible or a little bit more in touch with certain things. And so overwhelmingly, van life or just being a nomad in general can change you, and I would say change you for the better. Now again, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. There are people who have stepped away from van life because it changed them from the negatives, but that, again, as I said, has not been my experience. Van life has changed me for the better. It has not made me more anxious. Parking in random parking lots, going to sleep is not for everyone, or even just not necessarily knowing if you have enough power for certain things. Again, certain things aren't for everyone, but for me, it's made me a whole lot more grateful, a whole lot more appreciative. And even when it came down to budgeting and finance, like, I was really good at it before, but now I have to be good at it, especially when I wasn't working. Because if I did not be attentive, and of course I want to be in all these places doing all these things, if I did not be attentive, I'm going to damn near bankrupt myself. And so, like, it just brought that excitement level out, just brought that joy out. Like, I want to see this, I want to do that, I want to go here, I want to experience this. Oh boy, it can add up. The little $5 park entrance fee here, the little $15 maybe for a meal. I know not everyone's spending $15 on food, but as you have seen, you know, my back, it's a little big. But those are the positives that I've seen. What are some of the negatives and things that I've taken away since There's always that one negative Nancy. Oh, here this guy comes. He's only talking about the positive. I know there's some real out there. You want the negative? I'll give you some of the reals. Things break, yes. And they break often when you're being on the road. I think my second or third video was something breaking, because that happens. My first month of doing van life, damn near everything broke. My van froze, my heater broke. Like, within the past month, I've spent $4,000 US on my air conditioning system, because for one, when I bought the van, did not have AC. You guys have seen my struggles with that. And it's summer. You gotta have AC. And are you gonna be rigid and be like, oh, this thing broke, I'm done, I quit? Or are you gonna flex a little bit? Damn, I just stepped on a little anthill right here, and they all started coming out. Y'all lucky I don't have any raid with me. They did nothing to me. What am I doing? What am I talking about? I said I'm gonna leave them alone only because y'all are watching. So if y'all weren't watching, I set this whole piece up. If you seen Ant Bully, I'm the bully that stays a bully. I'm not shrinking. So some more negatives, right? Since I know we might have some realists or some negative Nancy's out there. Some more negatives have been overwhelmingly loneliness, right? Like, in terms of being a nomad and being away from things that are comfortable for you, it can get lonely, and it has gotten lonely for me. And unfortunately, but fortunately, I'm one of those people who has spent a lot of time alone, just in life in general. So for me, I did not have too much issue dealing with loneliness, but I can see how for a lot of people, loneliness can be a crippling thing, because being by yourself and feeling isolated is dangerous. And oh my gosh, I nearly put myself into a pool. And depending on who you are, that isolation can either amplify things that you need to work on, or show you that you can do it. You can be alone. Either way, it has an effect. I'm just realizing I really only ate once today. That's another thing. Routine. That was organic. That wasn't even me like sticking to any type of script. Not that I have one, but like that was completely organic. I forgot to eat because I've been so busy and moving. So routine. So shout out to anyone who has a really strong routine that does van life. I, for one, don't have a very strong routine and do van life and am a nomad. And sometimes it shows. Like I said, I just forgot that I haven't eaten today. And y'all know this back of mine needs to eat. If you don't know the joke behind like me having a big back, it's basically just me calling myself fat. So if you've been missing that this entire time, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. What was that? Bugs are starting to come out. I just rolled through a bunch of them. They taste good too. Things that I did not realize that were going to be such a big thing was bugs. Oh man. You get to deal with all the creepy crawlies, all the little rodents. Like I, for one, have been blessed not to ever have a mouse infestation or anything like that. But you guys have seen it, whether it be real or fake. Or roaches, oh my. Let me tell you, hold on, I gotta pull over for this. Yeah, I stopped dead center in the middle of this trail. Why? Because who gonna press me? Let me tell y'all about this story here of something I had to deal with that I otherwise would not have had to deal with if I was in an apartment or a house. So I'm sure you guys can remember not too long ago, I know these videos are thematically placed in different places all the time. That is my fault. I was in Corpus Christi, right? And I'm in the van. Down there, Corpus is pretty humid at this time of the year. And overwhelmingly, like, I say overwhelmingly a lot, man. I'm saying it way too much. There is a lot of insects at any given point of the time, at least down here in the south or central. I don't know what to call Texas. I'm in Texas right now. South. The bugs are big. And they big as hell. And so, just imagine, I'm in my bed, minding my own business, just chilling, and I see a grown man on my cabinet. You might be asking, how did you see a grown man on your cabinet? It was a roach. How did a roach get in my van? I left my doors open trying to get some wind in. And so I'm here minding my own business. I got this grown man perched up on my cabinet asking me what time of the day it is, asking me if I got any more food for him to eat. And so I dropped everything that I'm doing now because I got to go deal with this adult. And so I sit up in my bed like, ooh, he takes off running. And I have a loose roach in my van. And as you know, it is a confined space. I only got about like 70 square feet. And so now I gotta find this roach and quick. Because if not, if he has babies in the van, me and them all gonna get wrong. I'm gonna have to burn the whole thing down. And so now I'm walking around, I'm looking through the van, I'm checking this corner. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let somebody come down this trail, it's gonna get crazy. I'm checking this corner, I'm checking this corner. There's not much for me to check. I only see them in one spot. I can't find a roach. And so I'm like, all right, let me chill. It's raining at this point. I'm like, all right, let me calm down. I'm gonna find him in the morning. I'm looking up things that I can do. Can I use some type of insect repellent that is on a bigger scale in the van? Or what can I do? And so I'm like, you know what, let me sit down in my bed and let me relax. And I say that this was the voice of God. Again, look up. I look up while I'm in the bed. I see roach hips hanging out my ceiling. Now ask me, how you know there was roach hips? It's a little roach booty, this big, hanging out my ceiling. I lost my mind. Again, this would not have happened if I'm in a house or an apartment. Now, someone in the comment might be like, yes, you can get roaches in your house. I don't know what kind of life you're living, buddy, but I've never dealt with that. Oh yeah, you can see me now. You can see me now. He didn't even go too far. I'm wilding out. Roach. And so I'm like, all right, what can I do to get rid of him? How can I take him out of here? And how can I do this in the most inhumane way possible? Because now you've disrupted me. Laying in the bed, look up, see the roach hips. I said, oh my goodness. I get up out of my bed now. I crawl out the bed because I don't want to startle him. Because now I know where he's at. I grab a paper towel, open the sliding door, step outside. I'm barefoot in some shorts, no shirt on, and it's raining. All these factors matter. And so I open the rear doors so slightly because I don't want to startle him. And then I just grab him. Just grab on them little roach hips. Just grab them. I pray nobody else comes around this corner. I grabbed the little roach hips. And long story short, grabbed them, threw them on the ground a couple times, and just got to beating on them. And yeah, like I said, in the most inhumane way possible. So long story short, creepy crawlies, insects, and all of these things alike, you're gonna have to deal with them. So yeah, I pulled over just to tell that little story, and I don't regret it, because that little story right there might just give somebody something to look forward to. You can have some guests. Be it that they're uninvited, you can have some guests. So you won't feel as lonely when you have to back out the Mousca, especially if you have a little Jiminy on the wall, or if you have a little Rodney on the wall. The hell was that? Yo, reach around here. I keep it on me. You will get clapped. So we're gonna go ahead and get this back on the road. Hold on, y'all. Oh, yup. Look, there they go right there. That's deer right there. Hold on. You see his little head? Oh, yup. What? Oh, he looking at me. Oh, he looking at me. Oh, yup. Called it. Do not come around here. You will get clapped. I have not had no buck hips. I'll put you up on my van wall. If my eyes are red, it's because I got smacked in the eyelids at least 50 times by a bunch of gnats. I rode right into them. It's my fault. I shouldn't be in their neighborhood acting up. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the positives and the negatives, you know, deal with a little discomfort, deal with some insects and bugs, maybe some rodents. God forbid some rodents. I hope no one really does. But no, like freedom, right? Your own sense of freedom and the way that you want to take it on for yourself, whether you want to go out go out on weekends, and that's your dip into being a nomad, completely fine. However you want to do it and you do it for yourself, it's up to you. And so overwhelmingly, van life has been a life changer. And I'm only a year and a half into it. I know some people have been on the road living like this for decades. I know some people who have been living like this for months. I know some people who want to live like this. For all those alike, it's a change, and it's a game changer. There goes that word again. Like, there's a different type of comfort that comes with the fact that at any given point, I can load up and essentially be home. All right, let me get in here, turn some lights on. And I still do need to fix these front lights. Like I said, things just break and stuff happens, but life moves on and life continues. Let me get this bike in here. Ugh. There's so many better ways that I can load this bike in here, but I'm just going down the road and then parking up, so it doesn't matter. But to that same point that I was making of, you can essentially set up and you're living from or moving from just about anywhere. For me, that's freedom in a sense, and I mean, it's not for everyone being a van lifer, so there's different types of nomadic travel. I've realized I just started whispering, but there's different types of nomadic travel, and it looks different on everybody, and it looks different on me. And so that's why I like sharing it from my lens and my point of view, because I've been enjoying living life like this and doing things this way, and it's been working. And there's going to be changes that'll come soon, but until then, shoot, I'm gonna keep living just like this, unapologetically. I've been living life and I've been traveling, and I've been trying to bring you guys with me and share as much as I can. If you are enjoying this type of content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, if you're a hater and you want to leave a negative comment, do so, but make sure you like the video before you do that so that I get double the... If you enjoy this type of content, or if you yourself are interested in any type of... Ooh, I'm sweating, y'all didn't tell me. If you yourself are interested in van life or anything like that, reach out, leave a comment. I would love to motivate whoever needs to hear it and whoever needs to see it, that there's a different style of life out there. And even if you aren't looking into getting into full-on van life, you can get a little travel trailer, pull out a trailer and go camp for the weekend. Like, there's so many different ways to explore and see the world and experience freedom that I just don't want you guys to walk away feeling defeated, like you can't really change your circumstances, you can't really do anything different. So I am now going to go get myself something to eat. It's probably gonna be Whataburger. If you guys care to see, I'll bring you with me. I was gonna cook. This is not 2 videos back to back, but this is 2 videos back to back where I'm not cooking. I was going to cook, but I was tired from work. I'm making excuses. I really wanted some Whataburger. And so I've been eating clean all week though. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you didn't, like I said, hey, it's all good, player. I'll catch you guys. Stay good, stay faithful, stay blessed. And I might get me something to eat.